Hey, what's up? So it is Thursday, May 28th. It's 2:33 p.m. and you'll probably tell from the title, but okay, wait, no, I'm gonna start here. I'm all over the place already. Okay, so for some reason I'm not scheduled to work tomorrow, so that means I have 4 days off in a row. So today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so I was like, okay, I think this is a great time to continue my Throne of Glass reading journey. So the next book on deck is Yari, book number 4, technically 4, 3 in the main series. Okay, so what I'm gonna tell you guys, okay, if you haven't watched my last 2 videos, okay, so I have a video titled trying to read as much, I think, wait, how many books on Throne of Glass series can I read in a weekend, I think is what it was called. I'll link it up here. So in that video I read Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, and then I have a separate video, like a regular vlog of me reading The Assassin's Blade. A little spoiler of how that ended. So Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, I rated both of them 3 stars. The Assassin's Blade, I rated it 2 stars. I hated it, absolutely hated it. But like I said in that video, I tend to not like short story collection, which The Assassin's Blade is a short story collection. So I went into it already thinking that I wasn't gonna like it, but no, but also thinking like maybe I will like it because people are like kind of obsessed with that book for some strange reason. And yes, I read, that's the order I read it in. I read The Assassin's Blade 3rd, and honestly I don't think reading it first would have made me like it, because like I said, I tend to not like short story collections. So I don't think I really don't think it matters in what order I would have read it in. I think I would have rated it 2 stars no matter what. So that's that. So now going forward with the rest of the series, so Yari, my prediction is that I might like it like slightly more than I did Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. I'm thinking that because the way that Crown of Midnight ended, we're going to a new location, and in this new location I'm pretty sure it's where we meet a bunch of new characters. And I love me a series with like a lot of characters and like different types of characters, you know. So I'm thinking because of that I will enjoy it slightly more than I did the first 2 books, especially more than I did The Assassin's Blade. So yeah, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pick up my bookmark for this book and my annotation supplies. So let's do that. Hey, it's 11:32 p.m. The hell was that? I think I put in the last clip the date. It's Friday, May 29th. You want to know how many pages I read yesterday? 30. I only read 30 pages yesterday. I read that little bit yesterday, and today I've read this much, and I'm planning on reading at least 50 more, so I can get to page 200, because right now I'm on page 155. So yeah. And also the way I thought when I started this, when I thought this plan, like, oh, let's continue reading the Throne of Glass series these next 4 days, the way I thought that I was gonna be able to read Air of Fire and Queen of Shadows, who did I think I was? Because obviously now it's the end of, technically the end of day 2, and I'm on page 155 of Air of Fire, the first book. Not the first book in this video, not the first book in the series. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I think now I'm just gonna mainly focus on just finishing this weekend. Now I don't know what's gonna happen after that, like when I'm gonna pick up Queen of Shadows. I wanted this book and Queen of Shadows to be in one video, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's just talk about my thoughts so far of Air of Fire. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I know I said, oh, I can't wait for new characters to be introduced, but I'm being introduced to too many characters at once with crazy names, and I'm like, how am I supposed to keep track of all these people? And by a lot of people, I think it's no, because some of them is like you get their POV kind of, because it's third person, and then other ones are like side characters. So like I met Manon, that's just gonna be interesting. And then what the hell is the name of that guy? Adian, met him. Now I'm starting to think, I'm like, have I met him before? I don't know, but I feel like he's technically, in my mind, he's new. So I met him, and then where Selena is now, we're meeting new people, and like the people that she's working with while a situation is happening. I already forgot their names, but one of them, I forgot his name, but I'm like, he's gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna die. I can feel it. What's his name? I'm so close. Where the hell is his name? Luca. I'm like, he's kind of funny, and I'm like, I feel like he's gonna die just because he's funny. And then also now Dorian is getting close to a healer, Sorsha, and I'm like, she's gonna die too, isn't she? Don't tell me if these people die. Obviously I don't want to be spoiled, but in my mind right now I'm like, they're gonna die. I can feel it in my bones. And so far I like Sorsha. And then yeah, and it's interesting like what's going on with that situation, because she just found out something and she's gonna try and help she's gonna try and help Dorian. So, and then I'm also like, is something gonna happen between them? I don't know, but I also feel like she's gonna die. So Dorian would have that kind of luck, wouldn't he? I don't know. But enjoyment wise, so right so far. I'm thinking I needed to like, I think what I need is for all the like the old characters and then these new characters that are being introduced to somehow end up together and like all meet each other, and for sure to go down. I think that's what I need. Now I don't know if that's gonna happen, but yeah, that's my thoughts so far. But like yeah, enjoyment wise, I'm like, it's fine so far. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All I have to say, I think. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll let you guys know as I keep reading, like obviously my thoughts and feelings. This is what a reading vlog is about. Anyways, I'm gonna go use the bathroom, and then I'm gonna get back to reading Air of Fire and try to read at least 50 pages. I'm going outside tomorrow, to look forward to that, which would be probably the next clip. Okay, real quick before I head out, because I have to leave. Time is I think 5 minutes, like now. My bag fell. Okay, well I'm putting on my shoes. Quick update, it's the next day. It's Saturday the 30th, May 30th, and I got to page 200 last night of Air of Fire, which for a second there I thought I wasn't gonna meet my goal. I thought I wasn't gonna get to page 200, but I did. So I haven't read anything today yet, but I will, because we're going out and it's not hot outside. It's like 60 something, but we're gonna go after we eat something. We're gonna go to the park to read. Yeah, so we should be able to get some reading done there. And I think that's the update. Have one shoe on, gonna put on the other one, and I'll see you guys hopefully out and about. Okay, so it's now Sunday. It's 11:16 a.m. Sunday, May 31st. The fact that tomorrow June starts is insane. Anyways, so I didn't update you guys after I got back from my little outing yesterday. So basically, 1, we ate food. 2, we went to the park. It was super windy, so it was super cold. Not like super cold, but it was like too cold to be in the park reading. Also, it started like drizzling a little bit at some point, so we ended up going to the library and we stayed there pretty much until they closed, which was at 5. Then we went home. And then you want to ask me how many pages I read when I got back home. However many pages you said, you're wrong, because it was 0, unless you said 0. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I did not read for the rest of the day after I got back home, but I started off yesterday, and before I left I was on page 200, and I am now on page 266. So I read like 65 pages yesterday, which is not a lot. I'm not even halfway into the book, because I think the halfway mark is like 281, 282, around there. So there's that. But I'm gonna watch some reading sprints and get back into this and try to read as much as this as I can today, because today's the last day of my 4 days off. So I'm gonna really try to focus on this. I do have to do laundry today, so I'm gonna do that a little bit later, and I think that's all I have to say. Okay, oh wait. I can't really tell you thoughts, how I'm feeling with the book so far. My thoughts haven't changed. I'm still finding it fine. There is a lot of new information being thrown at us. I mean me, because I'm the one reading this. A lot of new characters, and so I googled like when does the series like really start to like speed up, and there's like 2 answers, like Heir of Fire or Queen of Shadows. But I heard that Queen of Shadows is more fast-paced, so I'm thinking Queen of Shadows is probably when I'm gonna start to get invested in the series. But maybe like at the end of this one, that's when I don't know, because I do feel like once like all these characters start interacting with each other, I think that's when I'm gonna start to feel more invested in the book, and we're not at that point yet. Like Manon, she's doing her own thing over here. Kale and Dorian, they're technically in the same place, but they're not speaking with each other at the moment. And then Selena is over here with what's his name? I don't remember his name, but she's over here with what's his name. So yeah, so like obviously like none of these there's characters all over the place, and I'm excited. I'm hoping that at some point all of these characters end up in the same place and shit starts to go down, because that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, those are my thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys. Oh, they're starting a reading sprint, so I'll tell you guys again later once I've read some more of Air of Fire. My goal, well, my next goal, yeah, is to get to part 2, which is on page 309. So let's get to it. Okay guys, it's Wednesday, June 10th. It's 11:20 a.m. and when was it? I don't remember what day it was. Sunday, Saturday, I don't remember what day it was. But I finished Air of Fire by the Sarah J Maas. I ended up giving this 3 stars. Yeah, again, this series so far has just been okay for me. The worst being the Assassin's Blade. Did not like that. Did not have a good time. I didn't have a great as of a time reading Air of Fire, but I had a better time than I did reading Assassin's Blade. But yeah, so far, like the first 3 books, Dawn of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Air of Fire, all 3 stars. They're okay. I will say, for the ending, I was a little bit more like invested or intrigued, like seeing like Dorian's side of what was going on with him, and what happened there with him, Kale, and Sorsha. And I would say I was more interested in that than what was going on with Selena and Rowan, just because when I was reading, literally I was reading in bed, and when those chapters were happening with Selena and Dorian, I was low-key falling asleep. And then for some reason, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just like woke up a little bit more, or if the parts with Dorian were more interesting, because once the parts for the ending chapters for Dorian, Kale, and Sorsha was happening, I woke up. I was like more awake, and I was like, okay, or maybe it was just because that happened second. So I was like, okay, we're getting towards the end of the book. Let's wrap this up. Let's freaking finally finish this. I don't know. But the fact is that I was more awake for those chapters. Take that what you will. Take from that what you will. I don't know. But yeah, it was just 3 stars. It was fine. It was okay. I will tell you, I googled 2 things while reading this when I was getting more towards the end. One was which book in the series does it get more exciting, I guess. And it told me either Air of Fire, some people say Air of Fire, some people say Queen of Shadows. And since it didn't happen for me for Air of Fire, I'm hoping it happens for me for Queen of Shadows. I also googled, without getting spoiled, in what book is it that all of the storylines connect with each other, and like all the characters end up meeting each other, because I keep thinking that's when I'm fully gonna get invested. You want to know what Google told me? It told me Kingdom of Ash, the last book in the series. And now I'm scared that the next 3 books are gonna be mediocre for me as well. But I'll keep you guys, we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep doing this, and you're gonna see like if my thoughts stay the same about the series. If I do get more invested in the series, we'll see what happens. But I will continue documenting my experience reading the Thorn and Glass series for the first time. That being said, I did start Queen of Shadows. When was that? Today's Wednesday. It was Monday night. I just read 2 chapters. So I'm on page 12, so can't really tell you anything. There was a page, okay, chapter 1, it was really funny, just for me. It's a Dorian chapter where Dorian's POV, and I just read you this one line. It says, "It was not her fault, even if he could not remember her name." Literally, from finishing this to starting this, it was maybe 3 days max. I really don't remember when I finished this, but I was reading that chapter, and it doesn't say, it's this chapter 1 is just 2 pages, doesn't say his name, and I was reading this chapter like, what the fuck is his name? I completely forgot Dorian's name. I was literally there like I read that line and I was like, what is your name? I don't remember. And then it took me a minute to remember his name, so I just thought it was funny because I was like, he couldn't remember who he's talking about, Sorsha. He couldn't remember her name, and then I couldn't remember his name, so I just thought it was a hee moment. But yeah, I'm off today, and then I had to work the next 3 days. I'm not happy about that, but I had all next week off, so we're gonna have a good time next week. What I want is to finish this by Saturday night, so then I can read / film my tandem read vlog for the next 2 books, Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn, and read that during my vacation. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think I'm gonna finish this by Saturday night, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my update for now. I'm gonna read today. I'm gonna hop into this in a little bit. I also have to wash my hair today, and I have to go to sleep early because tomorrow I have to be at work at 7 a.m, which means I have to wake up at 4. So I have to be in bed by 9 p.m. the latest. So we're gonna read a little bit and then wash my hair. Obviously I'm showering because I'm washing my hair, and get ready for bed. I know it's not even noon yet, but we don't have a lot of hours in the day at the moment. I had to be asleep early. Anyways, that's the update for right now, and I'm probably gonna start reading at 12 at noon. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on my thoughts on Queen of Shadows. I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. First of all, yes, I'm still reading Queen of Shadows. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, June 16th. It's 3:52 p.m. Guys, I'm concerned, and it doesn't have to do anything with like the characters, the plot, of why I'm concerned. Botanically, yes, but not in the way you think. Basically, I'm concerned that I don't even know how to explain this. Oh my god, I'm concerned that I'm gonna continue that I'm not gonna like become obsessed with this. I really thought, especially just because of the way that other people talk about this series, I really thought that I was gonna like be obsessed with the series. It hasn't happened yet. And then after this, after I finish this, I have 3 more books in the series, and I don't understand why this series is so popular. And like I said before, I had like searched to see like when the point of like obsession start, and it said, like I said before, like some people find that happens for them in Air of Fire, some people find that happens for them in Queen of Shadows. Again, I'm 200 pages in, so maybe I haven't gotten to the point where there's like a switch and I'm gonna be like, oh my goodness, I love this now. Maybe I just haven't gotten to the point, but I kind of feel like that point for me, it's not gonna happen. And I'm like, would I have enjoyed this more if I had read it when I first started getting into fantasy? It's very possible. It's very possible. And then also I was thinking, I was like, maybe I'm not liking it because it's in 3rd person, but of course Silver Flames is also in 3rd person, and I enjoyed that book. So also I'm gonna link my playlist up here of when I read the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Quick little like summary of my thoughts on those books. The books in Feyre's POV, I didn't really like those. They were fine. They were like 3 stars. But A Court of Silver Flames, that's when I was like, okay, I love this. Not like obsession love this, but I was like, I really enjoyed this book. So yeah, anyways, that's that. But yeah, I really am getting the feeling that I'm not gonna like be obsessed with this. So what I'm thinking is that once I finish this book, I'm gonna take a pause from reading the series and read something else. But then again, when I read, after I finished reading Crown of Midnight and the Assassin's Blade, I was like, I need to take a break from this. I'm gonna read other books, and then those books didn't hit it for me either, and I was like, maybe I just need to go back to Throne of Glass. So then I went back to Throne of Glass by Air of Fire. Now I'm reading Queen of Shadows, and I'm like, I think nothing's really hitting for me right now. I don't know. But yeah, I'm scared that that I would never understand the hype for these books. Also, the thing is that when it comes to the characters, I'm not like obsessed with any of the characters. And I feel like for me to enjoy a book, there needs to be at least one character where I'm like, I love this person so much, and none of the characters I'm like, I don't feel that for any of the characters. And then I'm like, maybe that's because, oh, my battery is flashing. I'm like, maybe that's because since we're going between different, like, technically POVs, even though it's in third person, I feel like we're gonna get enough time with any one character. So I feel like maybe that's why I'm not like obsessed with any of the characters. But yeah, those are my thoughts and feelings right now. And I think my next update is gonna be once I finish part one, because I feel like then I'll have like a pretty good sense of what I'm gonna think. Okay, here's the thing. It's July 6th to be precise. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? I think it's 5:19 or 6:19. I don't know. My clock is being covered by something, and I can't tell if that's a 5 or a 6. Anyways, when it comes to the Throne of Glass series, I am on the struggle bus so hard. I am on page 477, chapter 60. I don't remember when my last update was, story of my life, but I'm struggling so hard with the series. I think like the first 2 books I was able to read it like relatively quickly, because for 2 reasons. One, they were shorter. 2, I had hope that it would get better as the series went on, because that's what I've heard. But the more I keep reading, especially once I was like, okay, first of all, the Assassin's Blade was horrible. Had a horrible time reading that. And like I said, I think in my previous video of like reading the Throne of Glass series for the first time, I said that truly, I do not think reading it first would have made any difference in how I feel about the series. I feel like I still would have not enjoyed it. And like I said in that other video, I tend to not like short story collections. So there's also that. But then there's also the fact that I'm like, I don't really love any of the characters in the series. So it's hard to like push on. And then I thought when I got to Air of Fire, I was like, okay, at this point, we are, Selena's gonna be in a new setting. So I felt like a new setting would be better, and meeting new characters, and I would be able to, like, the story will pick up more. Technically you can say the story picked up more, but it didn't pick, but the way that it picked up more, I guess, I wasn't invested in it. The only thing in Air of Fire that I was like got interested in was like, which I said earlier in this video, when I finished, oh, the AC just turned off, okay. When I finished Air of Fire, when I was towards the end, I was literally falling asleep. And then we got to the part towards the end with Dorian. Yeah, with Dorian and what happened with him. And that woke me up. And I was like, oh, I'm intrigued now. What's going on? And then that ended. And then I started reading Queen of Shadows. And things haven't been good. I have not been enjoying this. I mean, I feel like there's like little small parts I'm enjoying, but then also it's just like I'm not like vibing, I guess, with the story. I'm not vibing with the characters. I'm not vibing with anything. And at this point, I'm like, with 3 more books up in the series, I don't see how this could get, to me, interesting, or like I don't see how I could get invested in the book, in the series. At this, I think where I am at this point, I think the only person that's not with the group, like in the group, is Manon. But then now they kind of, she like has shown up like where they are. I think that's what the last thing that I read, but I don't have high hope anymore. Very lowest hope that I will. Okay, I get the hype now. I understand people love this series. I understand people love these characters. I don't see it. Yeah, so I am struggling so hard, but I'm not gonna give up. I have like 2 hours and like 40 something minutes in the audiobook. I'm gonna try and read as much of this as I can now today, so I can finally finish this. And 100% at this point, I'm like, there's no way that I can read the hell's the name of the next 2 books, that I can read Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn individually if I'm struggling this hard right now, because Tower of Dawn, from what I've heard, just focuses on one character, and the characters is my main issue. I think it's one of the main issues I have with this series. So there's no way that I can read those 2 books individually. 1000% has to be the tandem read. So there's that. So in a little bit, I'm gonna hop back into this and probably cry, and not tears of love and happiness and amazingness, but tears of struggling and sadness of forcing myself to read, pretty much. Those are my thoughts. Don't hate me. Okay, I'll talk to you guys again later once I've read some more of this. I did it. It's done. 3 stars. 3. I'll wrap this vlog up maybe tomorrow. Do like an actual wrap up, but I finally finished it. 3 stars. Okay, it is the next day, even though we're in the same shirt. It is Tuesday, July 7th. It's 2:57 p.m. And we are finally wrapping up this video. Also putting it out there. I feel like I'm getting a cold. Love that for me. Anyways, so let's wrap up this vlog. So in this vlog, I read Air of Fire and Queen of Shadows, I don't know, what is this? Oh, yeah, the 3rd and 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. If you're not, 3 and 4 if you don't count the Assassin's Blade. So for this, I gave Air of Fire 3 stars, and I also gave Queen of Shadows 3 stars. I will say I did enjoy Air of Fire more than I did Queen of Shadows, but I think the reason why I enjoyed Air of Fire a bit more is because when I was reading Air of Fire, I had higher hopes that things were gonna like turn around and I was gonna start enjoying the series more. But then that didn't happen. Like the end of this book, I was a little bit more intrigued just because of what happened at the end of this book. But then when it came to this book, it's pretty long, and then I'm like, I'm just like not invested in the series. It's not a bad series whatsoever. It's just that I'm not like, I don't think it's amazing. It's just okay. So yeah, plot wise, both things, when it comes to plot and when it comes to characters, I'm just not invested in. I feel like if I was more invested in the characters, I would be more invested in the plot and what was happening to these characters, but I'm not. So there's that. Anyways, I think that's all I'm really gonna say. I think I explained pretty well, or like somewhat well, how I felt about these books while I was reading them. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. 3 stars, but I did enjoy Air of Fire a bit more than I did Queen of Shadows. And then the tandem read is next. I'm not sure when I'm gonna read that. It's not gonna be, it's what did I say, July 7th? It's July 7th. I'm thinking that might be an August thing. I'm gonna take a break from this series for the rest of the month, and hopefully once I pick the tandem read up, I don't know, maybe up those books more, but honestly I have very low hopes at this point. But one, I bought the books already. I bought the entire box set series, so I'm gonna read it. Also, I told my friend Carleni, I was like, at this point, I feel like I should have just done what Gavin did from Gavin Reads It All, which for Throne of Glass, he just read the first and last book of the series. Because he did for like a little while, he was like a series called First and Last, where he only read the first and last book of the series. Kind of like how Dylan is in Trouble, how he does when he watches like TV series, he watches the first episode and the last episodes with no context of the middle. So yeah, I know he was inspired by that, by Dylan is in Trouble, to do his first and last series for books. So yeah, I was reading Queen of Shadows, I was like, at this point I feel like I should have just done that, because I don't know. But yeah, that's what I thought about. Anyways, that is all. 3 stars. This one a little bit better than this one. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite book in the series, if you've read the entire series, or if you're more like me and you're like, I don't understand why people are obsessed with the series. Also tell me if you think that maybe the last 3 books is where it's at, and that's when I start enjoying the series more. Anything's possible. Just let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments, and without spoiling anything, of course. And that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys here next time on Yari Hearts Books. Bye. There's New York songs happening outside.